What if, like, instead of being so hard on yourself, you were graceful to yourself and you were kind and gentle and loving to yourself? Wagwan, everybody. Welcome back to the Ladder Jah. I am Jah, and I am here to take you on a journey back to self and to remind you of the light that already exists within you. And I was pondering on a few topics, and I realized one really was touching my heart lately, and that was how I've struggled with seeing myself through the clear point of view, how I've struggled with seeing my true potential, how I've struggled in the past with seeing my true capabilities. And I think that has a lot to do with building up all of these blockages around myself from seeing my authentic version of who I actually am. And I think that's built up over time. I believe it's built up over time. The inability to see who you truly are develops because of disbeliefs, because of doubt, because of lack of confidence, because low self-esteem, because judging yourself, others judging you. And I think it's a combination of you being harsh on yourself and others being harsh on you. And a lot of us talk about, hey, like, I'm a little bit more harder on myself than other people. Why do you think that? Because you've built up this blockage against yourself. You've built up this stigma against yourself. And all the years have passed, and now all you know is this blocked version of you. All you know is this low self-esteem, low and confident version of yourself. You no longer know that confident kid, that inner child who was explorative and who was amazed with the world and who was curious about the world. You no longer know that version of you because you've blocked that version of you off. And a lot of times I do talk about getting in touch with your inner self, your inner God essence, and your inner child. But how can you even get there when you've clouded and you've blocked that version of you off? How can you get to the point to where you recognize that version of yourself again? I believe it comes with recognizing the fact that you've even blocked that version of yourself off, that you've even cut that part of you away. And I think a lot of the times when we are younger, we cut parts of ourselves away. We cut versions of ourselves away that we feel like won't be accepted by society. We cut those versions of ourselves off. We no longer allow those versions of ourselves to be seen. We no longer allow ourselves to show our true colors. It's kind of like wearing glasses. Until I got my prescription to wear glasses, I couldn't see. I couldn't see clearly. I was blurred out and blocked out from the true vision of my current perception of reality. I had a different perspective, but when I got that prescription, I put on those glasses, I was more aware. I could see what was going on around me. I could look in the mirror and see every pore on my skin. I could see my eyes. I could see my smile. I could see me. But let me ask you this: when you look in the mirror, do you see you, or do you see the blocked and blurred version of yourself? Do you only see the version of yourself that has been created and been a product of society, or do you see the version of you that you truly feel? And what if, like, instead of being so hard on yourself, you were graceful to yourself and you were kind and gentle and loving to yourself? Because it's actually time for you to get your prescription back. It's time for you to put your glasses back on. Whether you have 20/20 visions, it's time for you to put your internal looking eye prescription on For you to no longer have a blurry vision of who you truly are and what you truly are capable of. You spent too much time doubting yourself. You spent too much time having low self-esteem. You spent too much time critiquing yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. You spent too much time in all these negative spaces. You spent too much time there. It's time to see the true reality of who you actually are, and that is a king or a queen, a deity, a divine entity, a product, a walking epitome of the divine, of the creator. You are much greater than you realize that you are. You know, when life moves on and goes on, and you grow and you start to learn more about yourself, you start to realize that you didn't know as much as you thought you knew. When you look back in hindsight, you start to realize that a lot of yourself was not fully visible to you. And as you grew and as you progressed in your stage of growth, you realized that you were a different version of yourself than what you actually knew. You didn't know your potential at the time. It's time to stop doubting yourself. It's time to stop being so hard on yourself. You notice you're way more hard on yourself than other people. People aren't even picking out your flaws. You're picking out your flaws. Nobody cares that much but you. You pick on your flaws, you pick on your insecurities, you pick on everything that doesn't seem perfect. You just loved yourself unconditionally without having so many restraints on yourself. And what if you gave yourself the full benefit of the doubt? What if you gave yourself the full benefit of the doubt and you loved yourself and you trusted yourself and you trusted your intuition and you trusted your gut feelings? What if you could do that? Is that possible for you? Because I believe it's possible for you because it was possible for me. And if it's possible for me, it's possible for you because we are one. In the universe, we are all whole and equal. We're a reflection of each other. You're a reflection of me and I am a reflection of you. So if it is possible for me, it is possible for you. Allow your light to shine and stop doubting yourself and trust your inner voice. Trust yourself. Stop looking through a clouded version of who you think you are, because that's not actually you. Who you are is much greater than what you see, because it is more than I can see. It is beyond that. It's more complex. It's more complex than what can be perceived. Way more complex. Way more in depth. I promise you that.